not since Jimmy Carter have the Democrats put forward a candidate, presidential candidate, who was pro-life. Well, I, Mark Stewart, am among the pro-life Democrats. It has gotten worse since Carter's time. At the margins, he tried to rein in a newly enacted Roe versus Wade that said you don't have a real choice if you are a governing body in any state. You must permit infanticide. You must, at least within the first 3 months. It's gotten so much worse that the leaders of my party have moved it to 9 months or even more, because it was 44 Democrats early in 2019 that blocked a bill. It was called the Born Alive Survivors Protection Act. It would have required doctors to provide the same medical care to a baby who survives an abortion attempt than they would give to any other human. And that the doctors had to exercise that and then consult with the birth mother about what to do, including the option of then, after being born alive, snuffing out the baby. Should be 100%, can't do. Nope. 44 Democrats in the U.S. Senate block this bill. Feminism has been turned on its head many times, but in the abortion issue, the modern feminist derails women from being women. The best thing God gives women, the modern feminist takes away. They make young women have abortions, which 50% of the time results in them feeling remorseful. All for a political agenda. Oh, not to mention results in the death of a human, viable from probably 2 months onward. Certainly implanted with a soul by God at some point in the early stages, and yet being snuffed out for convenience. Some people who should be absolutely irate, please tell your black conservative friends, or really just plain black Americans concerned about black identity. Because over the last 50 years, the number of infant black babies that have been snuffed out are a much higher proportion than those being aborted by whites. Okay? Right now, blacks are 12% of the American population. Without the abortion permissiveness, it's estimated they'd be nearly 30%. Safe, legal, and rare is a very decent policy in these times. I'd like to move it in future times to illegal. In the meantime, safe, legal, rare, and stigmatized is what you would hear from me. Stigmatized because, at a very minimum, abortion for the sake of my convenience is a selfish act. You don't want your child, okay? There are many couples who can't have children on their own that really do, that will pay you well, that will keep your health in very good shape, maybe better than ever before, that will pay you a good salary for simply nurturing a baby and heroically giving up the baby by contract to a couple that can do well for the baby and really wants. Right now, American adoption is almost zero. We have to have couples go to Guatemala, to Cameroon, to Vietnam to be adopting babies. And sometimes those governments don't even follow through on their contractual promises. We should not be prosecuting women who undergo abortions. Now, that's not a presidential issue. That's really my imploring of state attorneys general to be fair to all. And I don't know if you can be fair to women who are so misguided based on 50 plus years of hearing, oh, but it's It's like a cyst. It's part of her body. It can be removed in the same way. Instead of, this is a baby and your kind of removal is close to murder. Yes, I would consider and applaud attorneys general who would fairly and evenly prosecute doctors, because they know better. They have the science as part of their career. And they also have a pledge that is to do no harm. Even the counseling that Planned Parenthood gives does harm. It removes feminism. It removes good decision making. I have a friend who knew she could not be a good mother. At an early age, she was pregnant at 19 or 20 years old. She was nurturing a baby, and she decided to keep the baby, give it up for adoption. A very hard thing to do, but relatively heroic. Now, women will say, but men don't have to go through this. Okay, we have things of our own, maybe not quite as time consuming, not as painful as childbirth, although kidney stones, which affect men, supposedly are even more more often kidney stones affect men. We have prostate problems that women don't. Makes it harder to pee when you get older. It is an inconvenience. This is true. We can't balance it. We never can. But you don't balance by saying that taking life is acceptable. Okay? There are hardships for all. The woman who didn't plan has a minor hardship for 6 to 9 months. But look, it's accompanied by some beautiful things. Most pregnant women are glowing when they walk into work. There are young kids who want to feel their tummy, what's going on inside. People that want to guess the sex, maybe help you name them. It's a beautiful, for most women, process of giving life in a way that only your gender can. I want women to relish it. And I want true feminists to stop derailing women who would like to be as feminine as possible, to do themselves and the world around them a beautiful, heroic thing by giving birth with the support of all of us around. I am Mark Stewart. That is my pro-life argument.